naka-course guide?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po.
So please refer to them, no? Okay, this is the syllabus for integral calculus. Okay, the topics that we're going to discuss, so medyo marami to, no? For the first part, and this will cover the midterm examination, we have integration concepts and formulas. Anti-differentiation, because we said that integration is anti-differentiation. They are inverses, actually. Okay? If in differential calculus, we solve derivatives by subtracting 1 from the original exponent, then in integral calculus, we do the reverse, no? So instead of subtracting 1, we add 1 to the original exponent, okay? And that is why integration is otherwise known as anti-differentiation, okay? And then indefinite integrals, okay? So this is one type of integration, indefinite, okay? And this is why in our final answers, we have to indicate plus C, okay? We need to add the constant of integration. And simple power formula using integration, and then also integration of the different types of functions, transcendental functions, okay? Simple trigonometric, the integration of sine, cosine, tangent, okay? Those are the basics. And then we also have integration of logarithmic functions, logarithms, no? And natural logarithms. And then integration of exponential function, the one with the letter E, which has the equivalent of 2.71828,183. That is the equivalent of E. And then we have also inverse trigonometric functions. The inverses, no, like arcsine, arccosine, arctangent. So those are the examples of inverse trigo. And then we also have hyperbolic functions, but we are limited to discussing only the hyperbolic sine and the hyperbolic cosine, okay? So the H there at the end of the sine and cosine abbreviations symbolizes hyperbolic, hypersine, hypercosine. And then we have the general power formula, which includes substitution rule. And then for the first part ends with definite integral. So this is the other kind of integral, no? So yung sa una we have indefinite. Ito, no? Indefinite. And then the other type is definite integral. And this will include absolute, odd, and even functions. Now, the difference of the definite integral from indefinite integral is that when we evaluate definite integral, we need not put plus C anymore. Okay? The definite integral has a specific value, and that is why it is called definite. Now, the second part actually discusses the different techniques of integration. Okay? And it will start on integration by parts, the first technique. Okay? And then making use of trigonometric integrals. And we also have trigonometric substitution is another technique. and then technique on rational functions and rationalizing substitution. Okay? As you can see, these are the topics that we are going to discuss before the midterm because these are the topics that will compose the midterm examination. Okay? Now, after the midterm, and that means the start of the finals, okay, will be all applications. Okay? Applications of what we have learned before the midterm. Yung natutunan natin sa first part, sa midterm, are basically more on concepts, formulas. Okay? Then after the midterm, which will be the coverage of the finals, will be applications ng mga formulas. Okay? And we are going to start with definite integrals on finding the plane areas. Okay? All the formulas for the area are derived using integral calculus. Now, what are these plane areas? Plane areas of the different figures, square, triangle, and other polygons. Now, these areas of polygons are very definite. So meaning to say, we have actually formulas for them, okay? But what is special with the definite integral as a tool in finding the areas is that the definite integral may be used to find the areas between curves. Okay, yung mga irregular shapes, wala na tayong formula dyan. Okay? And definite integration is a tool wherein we can exactly compute for the areas between curves. Yung mga irregular shapes, okay, ginagamitan na yan ng integral calculus to find the area. Okay, so halimbawa, hindi na siya square, hindi na rin siya circle, irregular ang shape. We cannot identify kung anong klaseng shape. But all we know is the shape is surrounded by several curves. So how are we going to determine the area of that curve? And that is basically the application of the definite integral. Now, of course, other applications would involve the solving for the volumes of solids using integration. That's another application. And then finding the work done is also another one. And then hydrostatic pressure. We can also solve that using integration. Now, the subject concludes with multiple integrals. Okay? So meaning to say, we can make use of double integrals, triple integrals. For now, we will be using only the single integral. So nakikita niyo yung parang extended letter S. That is the integral sign. But after that, we are going to discuss double integrals. Dalawa ng integral sign ang gagamitin natin. And even three. Okay? The triple integrals. Okay? So basically, the coverage for the finals are all applications. Finding areas, finding the volumes, determining the work and hydrostatic pressure, and then maybe few on multiple integrals. Okay? And then, okay, this is the course assessment, no? We have formative tests in the form of homeworks or assignments, sit works, portfolio, and quizzes. Now, the portfolio, all your homeworks or assignments and quizzes, the original copies will be compiled and they will be composing the portfolio. Okay? Yung mga original copies nyo for the homework or assignments and quizzes, after every activity, you are going to upload them dito sa Google Classroom. Okay? So I will assign a space, no, wherein or an area wherein you can submit all your assignments, quizzes you're going to upload. Okay? So maybe you can scan them or picture them and then upload dito sa Google Classroom. And then after doing so, compile them, and that will constitute the portfolio. All the original copies. Okay? Now for the midterm, the submission will be before the midterm. Okay? Maybe a week before the midterm. Okay? Now the same with sa finals. Okay? After the midterm, we're going to start again for the homeworks, quizzes. Then scan them before submitting to the Google Classroom. Then after uploading, then that's the time you compile in another portfolio again. So twice kayong gagawa ng portfolio. Okay? Before the midterm ang submission and before the finals. Okay? So sa midterm, siyempre yung topics na na-cover lang natin sa midterm. And then sa finals naman, the continuation after the midterm naman yan. Okay? So as you can see, the midterm and final exams are or have the highest weights, no? And they make up 40% of the 100%. Okay, 2/5 will come from major exams. Then the chapter tests, 25% or 1/4. Okay? Then recitation or class participation, 20%. And then the homeworks and quizzes portfolio, 15%. Okay? Then the final grade, we get 1/2 of the midterm grade plus 1/2 of the tentative final grade. Okay? So i-add ko yon. Then it will determine your final grade. Okay, some of the policies: academic integrity, no plagiarism. Okay, most especially during exams. Okay, and also for homeworks. So malalaman ko rin yan kung one student copied from another. Okay. And then for your attendance, you must not exceed 20% of the total number of hours. In one semester, our total number of hours is 54. Okay? 3 hours per week times 18 weeks in one semester. Okay? 3 hours per week times number of weeks, which is 18. 18 weeks tayong magmi-meet, no? In a semester. So that is a total of 54 hours. Now 20% of 54 is 10.8. So you must not exceed 10.8 hours or 10 hours and 48 minutes. Yun yung 0.8, no? 80% ng 60 minutes. Or 20% pala, no? Ano, 0.8. 0.8 of 60 kasi 10.8 ang 20%, di ba? So 10 hours and 0.8 of an hour. What is 0.8 of an hour? 0.8 times 60. So that is 48 minutes. So you must not exceed 10 hours and 48 minutes for the entire SEM. Okay? Otherwise, if you exceed that, then you will be automatically dropped. Okay? Okay, these are some of the references that you're going to use. These are just recommendations. Okay? So these are calculus books, different authors, American authors, by Stewart, by Thomas, by Larson. Love and Rainville is basically the most common book that is being used here in Bicol University and even in other engineering schools. Okay? Ginamit nyo to. Ito yung brown book. Do you have this? Love and Rainville. This is a very good reference book. Okay? Although sometimes yung printing niya is masyadong nagbablat na yung ink. So yung dahil maliliit siya, sometimes the exponents cannot anymore be visualized. Okay? So we just Or maybe sometimes you need a magnifying glass just to verify kung ano talaga yung exponent, no? So hindi maintindihan kung raised to the third or is it raised to the eighth. Okay, so yung mga ganun ba, no? Or raised to the fifth or raised to the sixth. Okay, kasi sa masyadong maliit, hindi na natin ma-identify yung exact, no? And then of course, maybe you can make use also of Shom's outline series, differential and integral. Okay? So these are just some of the few references. But of course, we have lots of books here in the library in SEN, no? And also at the main library, okay, yung malapit sa sports complex ng BU. Nandun na yung ating main library. As long as you have your library card, meron na ba kayo or wala pa? Library card. Wala pa?
Wala pa po, sir. Opo.
Okay, maybe some or the president should arrange for that. Okay? So kailangan kung may makapunta rito, then apply all the students in your block. Okay? You can go to the library and then ask for some instructions on how you're going to get your library card. I think ang kailangan nila is your COR. And then, one by one na picture. Yun lang ang kailangan para magawan kayo ng library card. But maybe for now, since it's time of pandemic, maybe your COR is enough so that you can borrow books from the library. No? COR is enough because maraming mga limitations pa sa ngayon. No? But I'm not requiring you to come, but if and only if you happen to visit the college, no? As long as you observe the minimum standard health protocols, then you can borrow books, okay? So you just need to present your COR, okay? Being officially enrolled student. Okay, any questions for the syllabus? So the syllabus will guide you on the different topics that we're going to discuss. Okay? And then I'm going to close this now. I'll go to the course guide. Okay, so that's another file. Okay, the course guide is a more detailed content, no, of the syllabus. So parang syllabus din to, kaya lang in-expand in a detailed manner. Okay? So it says here, this is Calculus 2 or integral. And the prerequisite, okay, the prerequisite of this is Calculus 1. Okay? The differential calculus, the one that you took before during the first sem. Okay? So that calculus 1 or differential calculus is a prerequisite of this calculus 2. Okay? So meaning to say, you can only take this subject if you have passed calculus 1. Okay? But I think there are some who got INC. Meron ba sa inyong block? Or wala? Who got INC from Calculus 1? Incomplete. Meron o wala?
Meron po ata, sir.
So how many students?
If I am not mistaken po, 4 po ata or 5.
Okay, those 5 students must comply within 1 year. Okay?
Yes po, sir.
They should comply by simply completing the incomplete grade. Okay, otherwise, after a year, it will be converted already to a 5. Okay? So communicate with your professor on how you're going to complete, okay, the grade for that particular subject. Okay, so this is a 3-unit course, okay, lecture course. And the subject introduces the concept of integration and its application to some physical problems, such as evaluation of areas, volumes of revolution, force, and work. Okay? And then there are also fundamental formulas and techniques of integration applied to both single variable and multivariable functions. Okay? So dito naka-detail na yung on a weekly basis, all the topics or lessons we are going to discuss. We should have started last January 18 for lesson 1. I think some of these have already been taken up and discussed by Engineer Liagas. Okay? Now we should be on week 4 already. We should be here. Dapat lesson 4 na tayo. No? So we're going to fast track. No? Dapat mabilis tayo kasi I hope na take up nyo na dito yung iba. No? I think you have even touched simple trigonometric. Right? Yung integration ng integral of sine x dx, the integral of cosine x dx. Okay? So dapat nandito na tayo ngayon, general power formula. Na? Dapat pala mas mabilis pa kasi malapit na yung midterm, no? On March 15. Almost barely more than a month, no? A month and a week. Okay? So every time I have an assignment, that means meron akong sineset na deadline doon sa Google Classroom. So please follow the deadline. No? And then for the lessons, okay, let's move now to the lesson proper. Okay, the indefinite integral. So medyo hindi siya clear, no? But at least, okay, I hope you can still read, no? Now, the indefinite integral is the one with plus c. Yung answer nyo na may plus c, the constant of integration. Okay? Now, the indefinite integral is very long to pronounce. Okay? And that is why we just say the integral of, okay? Hindi na sinasama yung indefinite kasi napakahaba. So, the shortest is the integral of. Wala na yung indefinite. But the correct one is the one with indefinite. No? To distinguish from the definite integral. Okay? So, why is indefinite integral or why is integration also called antidifferentiation? Because of, as I've said, they are inverses. Okay? If in the differential calculus, you solve for the derivative given a certain function. Okay? So for example, x cubed plus 4. This is the given function. F of x equals x cubed plus 4. For example, x cubed to maybe x squared into pwede rin, no? So for example, the function is f of x is equal to x cubed plus 4. That is the given function. Then, in calculus 1, you are given that function and then you are asked to solve for the derivative. So find the derivative of f of x. given that f of x is equal to x cubed plus 4. What is the derivative? F prime of x. What is dy over dx? If y is equal to x cubed plus 4, what's the derivative?
3x squared po, sir.
Okay, 3x squared. That is correct. Okay? 3x squared. We subtracted 1 from the original exponent. And the original exponent is multiplied with the coefficient of the original function. 3 times 1 is 3 times x squared. Okay? Follow?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po.
Okay. So that is the derivative. We subtract 1 from the original exponent, no? So the derivative of f of x equals x cubed plus 4 is f prime of x is equal to 3x squared. F prime of x or y prime or dy over dx. Okay? Those are the symbols for derivatives. Differential in y over differential in x. Or the derivative of y with respect to x. That is also the other way of interpreting dy over dx. Okay? It means derivative of y with respect to x, where x is the independent variable. Okay? So that is what you learned in the differential calculus. You are given the function, then you are asked to find the derivative, and that is 3x squared. Okay? Now, we said that integration is anti-differentiation. Now, we go back to the derivative of 3x squared. In integration, you are now given the derivative and you are required to find the original function. Okay? So dito naman, given yung 3x squared. Okay? Now, paano natin makukuha yung x cubed plus 4 na ang given lang ay 3x squared? And that is exactly where integral calculus comes in. Okay? We need to integrate. We need to anti-differentiate. Okay? So, using the integral sign. So, lalagyan natin. We write the integral sign, yung parang extended letter S. Then, after that, the next thing to be written is 3x squared. Yung derivative na answer natin kanina. Okay? So the indefinite integral of 3x squared dx. Now the dx should always be there when integrating. Okay? Now the dx is the differential in x. Now we can integrate only when the function is already in terms of differential. Kasi, kung dx lang tayo, the indefinite integral of dx, we cannot integrate that. There is a missing term, and that is the dx. The dx should always be there before you integrate. Okay? Now, in the absence of dx, we cannot perform the integration process. Okay? If the given is not in differential form, then we can never integrate. Now, why is there a need to place the x? Okay, it's like this. Di ba yung answer natin na 3x squared is simply the derivative? right? And that is equal to dy over dx. Okay? So dy over dx is equal to 3x squared. Now, since there is a dx on the denominator on the left, yung sa dy over dx, then we multiply both sides of the equation by dx. Okay? Such that, anong mangyayari sa left? Maka-cancel na yung dx. Di ba? Pag nag-multiply tayo both sides. So matitira sa left, ano na lang matitira sa left? If we
dy
multiply, ha?
dy.
Okay, dy na lang matitira, di ba? Kasi na-cancel na nga yung dx, nag-multiply tayo both sides. Now, sa right side, anong mangyayari if we multiply by dx?
Mag-a-add po ng dx, sir.
Yes. Not actually add, but multiply. Di ba mayroon na tayong 3x squared times dx? Yun na yung mangyayari sa right hand side of the equation. Okay? So in effect, nawala yung denominator sa left. So meron na tayo ngayong dy equals 3x squared dx. Na-imagine nyo ba? Wala na yung denominator na dy over. Wala na yung over, no? So makikita nyo lang, after multiplying dx is dy equals 3x squared dx. So makikita nyo may differential in y sa left at meron ding differential in x sa right. Now both sides of the equation are now purely in terms of differential. Like what I have said before, kapag differential in form, we can now integrate. Okay? So meron na tayong dy is equal to 3x squared dx. Parehas may differential sa left and right. Then, ilagyan na natin ng differential sign in front sa left and right. So ang mangyayari nito, the integral of dy equals the integral of 3x squared dx. Get it? Kuha?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, so meron na tayong ganon, di ba? Pwede na tayong mag-integrate. Why? Kasi parehas na siyang may differential. Now, since differentiation or since integration is anti-differentiation, sa left-hand side, isa-isahin natin i-integrate. We start with the left-hand side. So the integral of dy, we said that integration is anti-differentiation. So therefore, the integral sign, yung parang letter S, and the d, di ba, integral of dy. So yung integral sign and the d will cancel each other, no? Because they are actually inverses. Okay? Parang reciprocal. Halimbawa, yung integral sign ay 3, yung differential ay 1/3. O, 3 times 1/3 magka-cancel. Kasi, yung product nila is simply equal to 1. Okay? So, the integral of dy, magka-cancel yung integral sign and the d. So, ano na lang ang matitira? Sa left.
Y po.
Y po.
Okay, y. Di ba? Y na lang equals, okay, we integrate. So, sabi natin, kung sa differentiation nag-subtract, sa integration mag-a-add sa original exponent. So, integrate na natin yung 3x squared dx, magiging 3x cubed all over 3. Correct? Kung ano yung final exponent na inada ninyong 1, yun din ang divisor. So, 3x cubed over, ano yung original ko? Cube ba or squared? Yung 3x squared?
Cube po.
Cube.
Sir.
Okay, okay. So 3x squared ang ini-integrate natin. So mag-add tayo ng 1, kaya 3x cubed over 3. Maka-cancel yung 3 sa numerator and yung 3 sa denominator. So ano na lang matitira? By simplifying, that would be equal to what?
X cube.
X? Okay, x cubed. Diba? X cubed. And we need to add the constant of integration. X cubed plus c. That's the final answer. Now, yung c doon na constant of integration, doon pumapasok yung sa original function na x cubed plus 4. Yung 4 na plus 4 doon sa original function, yun ang nagsisimbolize ng constant of integration. And that is why we need to put a letter C sa final answer ng indefinite integral. Okay? Kasi pwede ko kayong bigyan ng any other function, no? Di ba yung binigay ko x cubed plus 4? Eh kung bigyan ko kayo ng x cubed minus 1,000, x cubed minus 1/2, x cubed minus 1 million. Pag kinuha nyo yung derivative niyan, ano sa tingin nyo yung mga derivative nila?
2x po.
Yes, they will all have the same derivatives. Okay? But they will differ only in the constant of integration, and that is why yung letter C sa integration ng indefinite integral, yun ang nagsisignify ng constant ng original function. Okay? Now, the constant may have the value of any number, any fraction, any decimal, as long as it is a constant. Okay? So, kaya naging anti-differentiation yung integration. At kaya natin nilalagyan ng plus C to denote the constant in the original function. Okay? Any other question? Now, di ba in-integrate natin yung derivative na 3x squared, right? Then, nilagyan natin sa unahan the integral of 3x squared dx. Now, since there is a constant 3 as a coefficient to the x squared, di ba? 3x squared. If there is a coefficient in front of the variable, then that coefficient can always be placed behind the integral sign. Pwede natin siyang ihiwalay. So ilalagay natin yung 3 followed by the integral sign. Tapos after ng integral sign, isusulat na lang natin x squared dx. Okay? Such that madali tayong mag-integrate because hiniwalay na natin yung constant. Okay? So ang i-integrate na lang natin x squared. So magiging x cubed over 3. Di ba? X cubed over 3. Then, put back the constant, yung hiniwalay nyo. So ibalik nyo, so 3 times x squared over 3. Okay, 3 times x cubed over 3. So cancel yung 3, kaya we were able to get back to the original function, which is x cubed plus 4. Okay? O any other questions? Okay? So ito yon, no? The integral of 3x squared dx. So you can put this behind. So 3 times the integral of x squared dx. So 3x cubed over 3. So kinancel na kasi yung 3 dito. Kaya x cubed na lang. Okay? Yan. So that is the value of the integration, no? Okay, we move to basic integration formulas. Ito ganun din, no? So we put back the 2 behind the integral sign so that ang integrate na lang natin is integral of x dx. Okay? So x squared over 2 times 2, kaya x squared plus c. Okay? So these are the basic integration process. So ito yung sinasabi ko kung kailan ninyo ika-cancel yung integral tsaka yung b. Kapag magkatabi sila, you can cancel that. Okay? Such that, ano na lang natira? U, di ba? O, ito na yung answer. U plus C. Okay? Ito. Magkatabi yung integral sign. Tsaka yung differential. Yung D. So, they are inverses. So, you can cancel that. So, U na lang ang matitira. Kaya ang sagot dito is U plus C. Okay? Now, when we have several terms inside the parentheses, then we need to distribute the dx to each of the terms inside. Okay, so we have the integral of u dx plus the integral of v dx. Okay, so using the distributive property, dx will be multiplied to each of the terms inside. So no magiging u dx plus b dx. Then integrate individually. Okay? Ito na yon, integration of sum. Now, if we have a constant, itong integral of AU dx, ang example nito, yung diniscuss ko na, no? Yung kanina, at ito, example na rin to ng AU dx, ang A mo dito is 2, yung constant. A is a constant here. Okay? So, halimbawa, itong integral of 2x dx, o yung A dito, ito yung 2. At yung 2 na yan, pwede mong ilagay sa likod ng integral sign. Kasi constant siya. Okay? Such that, ang i-integrate mo na lang yung x dx. But in the final answer, huwag mong kalilimutan yung 2 na i-multiply. Okay? So, you take a look at here. So, equation number 13. The integral of AU dx is also equal to A times the integral of U dx. Okay? So, inalis lang yung constant, nilagay lang sa likod ng integral sign. So, that means to say you are going to multiply this constant with whatever final answer you have. Okay? Now, equation 14 is the simple power formula. Ito na yung ginagawa natin na ini-increase natin ng 1, yung exponent. Kung ano yung na-increase nating 1, yun din ang divisor natin. N plus 1 all over N plus 1. Okay, plus C. Now, take a look at the denominator. That N should not be equal to negative 1 because if N is equal to negative 1, we will have a 0 divisor here. And division by 0 is not allowed. Okay? We cannot define that. Division by 0. So see to it that the result of the denominator will not be equal to 0 so that it will not make the entire answer undefined. Okay? Now, equation 15 is actually a formula for integration of logarithms. Okay? If the numerator is an exact differential of the denominator, then that is exactly natural logarithm of the denominator plus C. Okay? Now, equation 15, the indefinite integral of du over u. Okay? So meaning to say, itong numerator na du is an exact differential of the denominator. Kapag exact na yan, ang gagawin nyo lang, ang answer dyan is you simply get the natural logarithm of the absolute value of the denominator and then plus the constant of integration. Okay? Now, equation 15 can also be or may also be rewritten as the integral of 1 over u times du. Pwede rin yun. In other books, wala kayong makikitang ganito, pero ang nandun is integral of 1 over u multiplied by du. Parehas din yun. 1 over u times du. Kasi pag minultiply mo yung 1 times du, du siya, di ba? Over u. Okay? So natural log, take note, there is an absolute value for the denominator. Natural log of the absolute value of u. Okay? Okay, we take a look at the example 1. So this is the integral of 5x to the 4th plus 3x squared plus 6 closed quantity dx. Okay, ito yung kaninang example ko na when there are several terms inside the parentheses, you are going to distribute the dx to each of the terms inside. Okay? So itong dx, i-multiply mo sa 5x to the 4th, kaya nagkaroon tayo dito ng integral of 5x to the 4th dx. Plus the second integral, the integral of 3x squared dx. And plus, of course, the constant, di ba? Plus the integral of 6 dx. Okay? Now, if you take a look at these three integrals, meron silang constant in front of the variable, di ba? Merong 5, may 3, may 6. Okay? they are actually the coefficients. Now, kapag may mga constants, as I have said earlier, we can always write them behind the integral sign. Okay? So magiging 5 times the integral of x to the 4th dx plus 3 times the integral of x squared dx plus 6 times the integral of dx. Now take a look at the third term, itong 6 integral of dx. So makikita nyo rito, magkatabi si integral at si d. So we can actually cancel them such that ang matitira na lang dito is 6x. And that is the answer then. Yung sa third, yung 6x. Bakit naging 6x? Kasi nag-cancel na itong integral tsaka yung d. And you can only do that when they are adjacent to each other, no? Pag magkatabi sila. Okay? But you cannot do that here. Kasi yung dx, in between the integral and the dx, meron kang x squared. So hindi mo pwedeng cancelin silang dalawa. Similarly, dito rin hindi pwede kasi may nakasingit na x to the 4th. Okay? So kapag may mga sa middle na variable, then integration ang process dyan. Okay? So you increase this, magiging x to the 5th over 5 times 5, yung minalagay nyo sa likod. So magka-cancel yung 5 over 5, so matitira x to the 5th. That is the simplified term. Plus, sabi natin, kailangan natin ng constant of integration. So plus c sub 1. Now why do we need to put a subscript for c? Kasi tatlo pa yung or dalawa pa yung i-integrate natin. Magkakaroon din yan ng kanya-kanyang c. Since nauna na to, kaya siya yung c1. Etong pangalawa, siya yung plus c2. And yung 6x, pangatlo siya, kaya sa kanya yung c3. Now, c1, c2, and c3 are all constants. If we add the three constants, they will all have a sum of another constant. So we might as well represent c1, c2, c3 as a single constant c. Okay? So hinalo na lang natin sila. Total, pare-parehas lang naman sila constant. So why not put them in a single constant which is represented by c? Okay? So the answer here is x to the 5th plus x cubed plus 6x plus c. Okay? Bakit naging x cubed? Kasi yung x squared plus 1. Kaya x cubed over 3 times 3, yung minultiply natin, yung nilagay natin behind the integral sign, huwag kalilimutan nyo na i-multiply. Kaya 3x cubed over 3, may 3 sa taas at baba, we can cancel them. So, simply, it is equal to x cubed. Okay? Ito naman, na-cancel si integral tsaka si d. Kaya natira na lang is x. So 6 times x, and that's why we have 6. See questions so far? Questions? Okay. When given the several terms to integrate, hindi nyo kailangang i-break down into 3 integrals always. Maybe for now, you can do that. But later on, kapag alam nyo na, hindi nyo na kailangang isulat yan. Okay? Ganito na lang ang mangyayari. You can do it mentally. Okay? So isa-isahin nyo na lang, 5x to the 4th, dagdagan ng isa, 5x to the 5th over 5, plus 3x cubed over 3, plus 6x. Then simplify. Okay? So x to the 5th plus x cubed plus 6x plus c. Hindi nyo kailangang lagyan ng integral sign na gagawin yung you are going to transform this into 3 indefinite integrals. No need. For as long as you can solve it mentally. Okay? Okay, we have here example number 2 is a quadratic equation. An equation of a second degree. Okay? Second degree equation to kasi naka-square. Now, if we want to integrate this, the first method is to expand the binomial. Okay? So you expand 3x plus 4 closed quantity squared, square of the first term, plus twice the product of the terms. Anong product of the terms? 12x times 2, kaya 24x. And then square of the last term, which is 4 squared, and that's why it is equivalent to 16. Okay? So the expanded term of the given function is 9x squared plus 24x plus 16 closed quantity dx. Nawala na yung squared kasi in-expand na natin. Okay? And then after expanding, we integrate one at a time. Okay, one term at a time. So 9x squared, kaya nyo na yan i-mental, 9x cubed over 3. 24x, integrate 24x squared over 2. Okay? Basta kung ano yung final exponent nyo, yun ang divisor. And then, 16 is a constant, lagyan nyo na lang ng x, 16x plus c. But do not leave your answers that way. Try to simplify. 9 over 3 is 3. 24 over 2 is 12. Okay? So the final answer should be 3x cubed plus 12x squared plus 16x plus c. Okay? Any question? I-expand nyo lang yon. Okay? Kung cube yan, o syempre magmumultiply kayo. 3 times with itself. Ito, nakasquare lang, 2 beses lang kayo nagmultiply. 3x plus 4 times 3x plus 4 para makuha nyo yung 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. Okay? So that is the first method. What is the other method? Using what? Using substitution method. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it here. Okay, here. Okay. Yung second method is using substitution. Yung nasa loob ng parenthesis na 3x plus 4. We can represent the two terms as a single variable. So, for example, we chose u to be equal to 3x plus 4. So let us represent 3x plus 4 as u. Okay? So naging simpler na siya, di ba? Dati dalawang term siya, 3x tsaka 4. Eh ngayon, yung 3x tsaka 4, nirepresent na lang natin na isang variable and u, yung pinili natin, no? So let u be equal to 3x plus 4. Then after this representation, we get the differential of both sides. So what is the differential of u? du. Okay? Or what is the differential of 3x plus 4? Did you take up differential in differential calculus? Did you or did you not?
Yes po.
Okay. So what is the differential of 3x plus 4?
3 po, sir.
3 is only the derivative.
dx.
Yes, you need to put a dx. Di ba in-explain ko na yan kanina? Na yung differential is equal to the derivative multiplied by the dx. Di ba yung example ko kanina, dy over dx, nag-multiply tayo both sides ng dx para matanggal yung denominator na dx. Di ba? O yun yung gagawin nyo rito. The differential of 3x plus 4, kunin nyo muna yung derivative ng 3x plus 4, then lagyan nyo ng dx, multiply by dx. Yun na yung differential. Okay? So get the differential of both sides, differential of u, du. Differential ng 3x plus 4 is what? 3dx. Di ba? Ito. 3dx. Okay? But what is the given? May nakikita ba kayong 3 sa given? Ano lang yung nandun? Ano lang to?
dx.
Yes, dx lang, di ba? Walang 3 na nakasulat. Di ba? So therefore, dito sa du equals 3dx, tanggalin dapat natin si 3. So how are we going to do that? We divide both sides by 3. I-divide ito ng 3, i-divide din yung du ng 3. Okay? So anong mangyayari? Dx na lang dito sa right, di ba? So what is now dx equal to in terms of u? That is dx equals what? du over 3 or 1/3 du. Ito na. Okay? Ito na siya. So we substitute. Isa-substitute na natin. Di ba yung 3x plus 4, u siya? Okay? So u. Naka-square siya, kaya u squared. Okay? Integral of u squared. Sa dx naman, in terms of u, magiging ano siya? Itong dx equal to what? Ito, gamitin nyo na to, no? Dx equals what?
1/3 du.
1/3
Yes,
du.
1/3 du. Kaya nandito na siya, ito. Okay? So ito na yung transformation from variable x up to variable u. Wala na kayong makikitang x dito. Lahat na in terms of u. Okay? We cannot integrate kasi kapag dalawang variable. Hindi pwede yon. May u ka tapos may x, hindi yon pwede. Okay? So kung in terms of u, yung dx kailangan may equivalent din siya, and that is 1/3 of du. Now since 1/3 is a constant, we can place 1/3 behind the integral sign. Okay? So magiging 1/3 times the integral of u squared du. Okay? O itong u squared du is an exact differential of u. So all we need to do is simply add 1 to the exponent of u. Magiging u cubed over 3 times 1/3. Ito na yon. Okay? 1/3 times u cubed over 3. 1/3 times 1/3 is 1/9. So that's why we have u cubed over 9 plus c. But what is u? U is 3x plus 4. Ibalik na yung u. 3x plus 4, closed quantity, raised to the third power divided by 9 plus c. Okay? Now another representation of the final answer, pwede rin gawin yung 1/9. Okay? 1/9 times the quantity 3x plus 4 raised to the third power plus c. Okay? Wala na yung over 9 kasi nilagay na natin sa unahan. 1/9. Okay? Multiplied by closed quantity 3x plus 4 raised to the third power plus c. Okay? Do not leave your answers in terms of u. Wala akong makikitang u dito sa final kasi wala namang u na given. Okay? Nag-represent lang tayo kaya ginamit natin si u. Kaya sa final answer nyo, hindi pwedeng may u. Ibalik yung representation which is 3x plus 4. Okay, any other questions? Nakadalawa na tayong method, di ba? Una, expansion. In-expand natin yung binomial. Di ba? In-square natin. Inisa-isa natin yung term. Ito naman is using representation. Okay? Using representation. Now, there is another method. The third method. Ang gagawin natin is, we inspect the terms inside the parentheses. So nakikita nyo yung 3x plus 4. Nasa loob ng parentheses, ano yung differential niya? What is the differential of 3x plus 4? What is the differential? Sinagot nyo na ba yan kanina? What?
3dx po.
Yes, 3dx, di ba? But nakikita nyo sa given, ano lang yung nandun? dx lang, di ba? So kulang ng 3. So anong gagawin nyo? Lagyan nyo ng 3. Ito, no? 3dx, but since nag-introduce kayo ng 3, i-balance nyo yun ng reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 3?
1/3.
1/3. O yun, lagyan nyo ng 1/3 behind the integral sign. Okay? Kasi pag kinuha nyo yung product, yung in-introduce nyong dalawang number, 1/3 times 3, ano yung product?
1 po.
1, di ba? O parang nag-multiply tayo ng 1. And multiplication by 1, or that is identity principle, Pag minultiply mo lang 1, any number, the result remains the same. Okay? So nag-introduce tayo ng 3. Bakit tayo nag-introduce ng 3? Because that is the exact differential of 3x plus 4. Originally baga, wala namang 3dx sa given, di ba? 3x plus 4, closed quantity squared times dx. Wala namang 3. Kaya ngayon, kinumpleto natin because that is the exact, but we need to balance that by introducing also its reciprocal. Okay? Now, since this is already balanced, exact differential, kapag exact na dahil nandun na yung 3 sa dx, then that's the time we increase the exponent by 1. Okay? 3x plus 4 raised to the third all over 3 times 1/3. Ibaba na yung constant dito. And that is exactly the same result as that of yung nag-represent tayo ng u. Di ba parehas lang naman ang answer? Okay? Question. Bakit iba yung answer nitong last method and second method from the first method? Bakit yung second method mahaba ang sagot? Di ba mahaba yung sagot kanina? 3 terms yung answer doon eh. Di ba? Ito, 3x cubed plus 12x squared plus 16x plus c. Now, how does this answer differ doon sa ginamitan natin ng representation ng u, ito, at doon sa kinomplete natin yung exact differential? Bakit naiiba yung una? Why? Why do you think?
Sir,
Yes?
since in-expand po.
Yes, if we are going to expand this, itong cube, itong naka-cube, pag in-expand nyo yan, itry natin kahit isang term. 3x times 3x times 3x. That is 27x cubed. Correct? Am I right?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Yes, that is 27x cubed. Divided by 9, what's the quotient?
3.
3x po.
3x cubed. Di ba? Tingnan natin yung answer dun sa in-expand natin. Di ba ito rin siya? 3x cubed. Right?
Yes po.
Ito ba, di ba? Basically the same. Okay? Kaya itong answer natin dito, ito, pag in-expand natin yung numerator at dinivide natin every term ng numerator, ganun ang lalabas. Okay? Magkakaiba sila dito. Bakit sir ngayon sa constant? Okay, let us try. Di ba yung constant natin dito, ano yung constant natin dito? Pag in-expand natin yung, pag kinube natin yung 4. 4 times 4 times 4. Ilan?
64 po.
64. Okay? Ano yung constant natin? Will you try to get the product of the cubic equation? Para makita natin. 64 over 9. Diba? You try to expand that. Diba 3x plus 4. I-multiply nyo na lang yung 9x squared, no? Plus 24x plus 60 lang 3x plus 4. Okay? So that is 27x cubed plus 72x squared, diba? Plus 16x. And then 36x squared plus 96x plus 64, di ba? Ayun. So 27x cubed plus 108x squared plus 112x plus 64. So that is the expanded cubic equation. Okay? So try to do that. Okay? Yung 27x cubed, i-divide natin ng 3. That is equal to 3x cubed. So tama tayo sa first term, di ba? Now, the second term is 108x squared. I-divide natin ng 9. How much? Kasi over 9 yung ano natin, di ba? Over 9 kasi yung nandito. Over 9. So lahat ng term dito sa 27x cubed plus 108x squared plus 112x plus 64, i-divide natin ng 9. So sa second term, 108 divided by 9, ilan?
12 po.
Yes, 12x squared, di ba? Ano yung answer natin doon sa in-expand natin? Is it 12x squared?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, tama yon, di ba? Nakalampas na ba ako? Saan na ba yun? Dito yon, no? Yes, dito. O, 12x squared. So, tama na naman tayo sa second term. What about 112x divided by 9? Ilan?
Sir, 144 po.
Ilan?
44 po. Hindi po, 112.
Kuha nga ng product to get the 16x. 4 times 16. Mali dito yung 3x times 16. 48. Tama? O 48 plus 96. Ilan? Uh, 48, 72 plus 48x. 48x plus 96. So 48 plus 96, ilan? 144, di ba? O 144 divided by 9, how much?
16 po, sir.
Okay, 16. So ano yung sa third term? Okay, 16x. Okay? So tama tayo sa third. Okay? Now yung last term, pag in-expand natin, is 64, di ba? 64 divided by 9 is a constant. Okay? So yun na yung nire-represent ni C. Yung 64 over 9. Okay? So yun na yung C. Okay? Walang variable. So 64 over 9 is already in its simplest form. We cannot anymore divide 64 by 9. 64 is not divisible by 3 or by 9. Okay? Yun na yung simplest form. And hindi na natin to ini-express as an or as a mixed number. Hindi na, no? Kasi 64 divided by 9 is, what is this? 7 and 19, di ba? Tama? O hindi na natin, sa college, hindi na yan kino-convert into a mixed number, no? Na may whole number and fraction. We do not do that anymore, no? So leave your answer as an improper fraction. Okay, like 64 over 9. Pwede na yon as long as it is simplified. Okay? Pero wag nyo nang lalagyan ng 64 over 9 tapos i-convert nyo into 7 and 19. No need, no? Do not do that. Hindi na kasi yung ginagawa dito kapag sa college, no? Ginagawa lang yun sa elementary, no? When you were elementary, pwede yon, no? But during high school, hindi na, in college, no? So leave your answer as an improper fraction, no? But since it is a constant, you do not write 64 over 9. It is simply equal to C because 64 divided by 9 is just a constant. Okay? So, itong answer na to at yung answer natin sa dalawa, yung using substitution and itong answer na to is already acceptable, no? Bakit ina-accept ito? Kung bigyan ko kayo ng raised to the 10th power, palagay nyo ba magmumultiply pa kayo ng up to the 10th? Baka naubusan na kayo ng papel, hindi nyo pa nakukuha yung sagot. Okay? And that is the essence of using a representation or finding the exact differential of the terms inside para hindi na tayo mag-expand. Okay? Ine-expand lang natin kung halimbawa naka-square, naka-cube, or naka-fourth power, pwede pa yon. Pero kung to the fifth, masyado nang mahaba yon. Do not do that, no? And make use of the shorter way. Ito na nga, using representation. Let u be equal to this, or checking the differential of the terms inside. Okay? Yun na yung pinaka-fastest and easiest way to integrate. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay, for examples ng trigonometric, do not touch trigo first, no? Separate discussion kasi yan. Sa algebraic terms lang tayo. So, in-upload ko to, kunin nyo na lang. Okay, do exercises 9.2. Okay. Yung 1 to, hindi 9.2, doon muna sa 9.1. Yung 1 to 10, teka muna, tingnan ko kung meron dito. Yes, ito muna ang 9.1. On page 223. Ito, may page, no? Merong problem, exercise 9.1. Solve this. 1 to 10 to. Sa next page, nandun yung 8, 9, 10. Okay, kung malabo, I'm going to dictate. Okay. Ano yung hindi clear dyan? Okay, number 1, the integral of 6x squared minus 4x plus 5 dx. Yung exponent ni x squared. Okay, number 2, clear naman, di ba? Wala namang exponent ang x. Linear lang yan. 2x minus 1 times 3x plus 4. Okay, number 3, x times the quantity square root of x minus 1. Tapos parenthesis, no? Number 4, x plus 4 times dx all over square root of x. Number 5, 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. Pakilagyan ng parenthesis after ng 3 at before ng 2 sa 2x squared, no? May parenthesis dapat yan. Times dx all over x squared. X squared itong divisor. Okay, number 6, 4 times cube root of x. Ito, no? 4 times cube root of x minus 2x times square root of x close quantity dx. Okay? So yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, 4 cube root of x minus 2x square root of x. Number 7, x cube minus 8, pakilagay ng close parenthesis, x cube minus 8 all over x minus 2 times dx. Okay? Number 8, 1 plus cube root of x. Ito, no? 1 plus cube root of x, close quantity squared. Ito, squared yung sa loob ng, sa labas ng parenthesis. Yung nasa loob, 1 plus cube root of x raised to the second power all over cube root of x. Itong divisor, no? Cube root of x. Number 9, the integral of x to the fourth minus 2x cubed plus x squared dx. X to the fourth minus 2x cubed plus x squared. Square root lahat na dx. Number 10, 5 over square root of x minus 3 over x squared plus 2 over x to the fourth times dx. Okay, I repeat, 5 over square root of x minus 3 over x squared plus 2 over x to the fourth dx. Okay? So makikita nyo may mga radicals. You cannot integrate using radicals unless you express the radicals in terms of fractional exponents. Okay? For example, square root of x. Transform that into x raised to the 1/2 power. Okay? Before you integrate. Okay? Always transform the radicals into fractional powers. Okay? Did you get all the 10 problems? Exercise 9.1. Okay. You have this book. Meron ba kayo nito? The one you used in differential calculus? Love and Rainville. Yung brown.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
po.
Yes po.
On page, okay, do additional, in addition to the 10 problems, solve pages 98 and 99. 42 problems yon. 42, no? Plus 10, so all in all, may 52 kayo to solve. Okay? So yung 10 problems kanina, yung dinictate ko, plus yung nandito sa Love and Rainville, page 98 and 99, plus 42 kaya, 52 problems, and be ready on recitation next meeting. Okay? 52 problems, you are how many? 38? 38 ba kayo? So, you will be assigned a certain number. What number? I do not know. And that is a surprise. Okay? So, halimbawa, Alwin, solve number 10. O, yun. Number 10. So, hindi mo alam kung ano ibibigay ko sa inyo, di ba? So, to be safe, answer all the 52 problems. And be ready with your explanation. Okay? Explain how you got your answer. Okay? Now, if you have this book by Feliciano and Uy, Filipino authors, this is also a very good reference book. Okay? So dito ko kinuha yung ni-lecture ko ngayon. Kasi very basic yung lecture dito. Okay? Differential and Integral Calculus by Feliciano and Uy. Okay? So kasing laki din to nitong differential by Love and Rainville, no? The same size sila almost. Malaki lang ng konti, pero halos the same, no? Okay? Parehas din yung thickness nila. Okay? Have this much better para may dalawa na kayong reference. Okay? But I'm not requiring you to buy one. If you can borrow, much better. You can borrow from our library, from the main library, from your friends, from higher years. Okay? So magtanong-tanong kayo sa mga higher years. Sa mga third year, no? Baka meron sila. Okay? But I'm not requiring you to buy, no? Baka mamaya, ako pang maging dahilan nyo sa parents nyo. Nire-require nga kami ni Sir Del Villar. No, I'm not requiring you, no? I'm requiring you to borrow, no? If you can do it, no? So try to borrow if you know someone who has that book, much better, no? Or if you want, kung meron kayong kakilala, pero ayaw ipahiram, sabihin nyo, pa-photocopy pwede rin, no? You can photocopy also. Okay? Okay, any questions so far? Did you understand everything? Question? Habang open pa yung classroom natin? Ano yung hindi nyo naintindihan? Sabihin sa akin. Kapag naka-parenthesis, di ba naka-parenthesis? Nakaganon, di ba? Ayan. Nasa labas si dx, Ang ibig sabihin no, si dx imo-multiply nyo sa bawat term na nasa loob ng parenthesis. Okay? Ibig sabihin doon, every term inside dapat may dx. Okay? Kung i-integrate na natin, dapat laging may dx. As I have said, we can integrate only as long as there is a differential symbol. Okay? Or any questions? If you come from Science High School, say Philippine Science High School, Manila Science High School, Quezon City Science High School, where I came from, I'm a graduate of a science high school in Manila. Okay? Very familiar na sila niyan. Okay? We took up when I was in third year high school, way back then, no? Wala pang K to 12, no? When I was in third year, differential and integral calculus are already discussed. Okay? Kasi nasa special science high school curriculum kami. Okay? Na-discuss na namin yon. And that is how advanced we were before, no? So I can equate this to this present situation. Yung mga graduates from Philippine Science, Manila Science High School, Quezon City Science, Naga Science High School, Legazpi City Science High, and many other national high schools having a advanced science curriculum, meron na sila nito, no? Meron na yun, I'm sure of that. But for those who didn't have, you need to double time. Okay? You need extra time for you to familiarize all the concepts. Okay? Calculus is a foundational subject. Okay? Diyan kasi kayo nag-start. Samantalang yung hindi pa K-12, they started from the very beginning. College algebra, advanced algebra. Yung integral calculus is math number 8. Yes, math number 8 na. At nag-start kayo sa math number 7, differential calculus. Wala kayong math 1 to 6 dito sa Bicol University. And you missed that. And those 6 were very important. Okay? Kaya marami sa inyong nawala. Kasi pumasok kayo, nandun na sa higher level. Okay? Nawalan kayo ng college algebra, advanced algebra, analytic geometry, solid mensuration, what else? Statistics, kasama pa yon, no? And ayun, plane and spherical trigonometry, yun yung mga nawala sa inyo. Okay? And we are planning to go back to the 5-year curriculum kasi nakita namin na you are not yet ready to take up calculus. Okay? Yung first year kayo, yung second year and third year experienced hardships. Okay? They experienced hardships in taking up calculus. Very few lang yung pumasa. Okay? And that is a very clear indication na you didn't have enough backgrounds on algebra and trigonometry, analytic geometry. Analytic geometry is also equally important. Okay? Ito yung, dito diniscuss yung parabola, hyperbola, ellipse, circles, lines. Yun. Maraming nawala sa inyo kung tutuusin. And we do not know, no? If at the time of your graduation, when you are ready to take the board exam, we do not know what will happen. Okay? So, we are going back to basics. Okay? Do not forget your differential calculus. Nag-i-integral tayo ngayon. But from time to time, we are going to inject differential. Kaya wag niyong kakalimutan. We always go back to the differential calculus. Kasi, given na dito yung derivatives, kailangan nating makuha yung original function. At yun yung derivatives. Okay? Ini-integrate na natin yung derivatives. Paano tayo makakabalik sa original function? Yun yung lesson natin ngayon sa integral. Okay? Baliktad, no? Kasi dati sa differential, hinahanap ninyo derivative. Binibigyan kayo ng given function. Dito sa integral, binibigay na yung derivative, nawawala naman yung original function. So nakita nyo yung difference? Kaya nga, integration is anti-differentiation. Okay? Parang reciprocal sila. Okay? So ganun lang yung concept. Okay? So any other question? So the 52 problems will be solved in an 8.5 by 13 bond paper. Or if you do not have long bond paper, yung 8.5 by 13, you can write the solutions on a yellow pad. Pero yung long na yellow pad, hindi yung short. Okay? I don't want to see writing on a tablet. Pang high school lang yon. You are not high school anymore. Okay? And the manner of solution, only one direction from top to bottom, pababa. Straight lang pababa. I do not want to see left and right. My left, my right, left, right, left, right. Ayoko nun. Nalilito ako ng sequencing. Okay? So I want only one direction, one column from top to bottom. Okay? Ayoko nang fino-fold nyo yung papel, tapos meron kayong solution sa left. Pag naubos sa left, pupunta naman kayo sa taas. Sa right naman kayo mag-uumpisa. I do not want that. Okay? I want to know kung paano ninyo, how did you attack the problem in a single direction? Okay? Now, if one page is not enough, then use another page. Do not write at the back. Okay? Bakit ayaw ko sa likod? Kasi minsan, masyadong, pag nag-blot yung ink ng ballpen at manipis yung papel, yung sa front page, hindi ko na mabasa. Kasi nag-blot na yung mga ink sa likod. Or yung sa front ang nag-blot, pag sa likod, mahirap nang i-check. I cannot see them anymore. So do not use the back, only the front page. Okay? Now, after you are through with the 52 problems, try to scan them or take a picture and then send through the Google Classroom. Doon sa, may inassign ako sa lesson 1, exercise 1. Doon nyo ipasok so that I can check. The deadline is there, naka-indicate doon na, I think that is Wednesday. Okay? Wednesday yung deadline next week, 5 p.m. I think. So just check, no? Okay, any other questions before we leave the classroom? I'm sorry because I had a meeting before, so I was unable to meet you from 1 to 4. Okay? But I do not want to miss the class because I met Block A. Ayokong maiwan yung Block B. Okay? So a little bit behind tayo, so we need to fast track the lecture. So read in advance whatever material I am going to upload. Okay? So may i-upload na lang akong mga materials. O any other questions? Okay, by the way, use blue
Sir
ink.
po.
Use blue ink pala, no? Not black, but only blue ink sa solutions. Okay, yes?
May ilang given po sa Lavenrinville na hindi po readable yung exponent.
Okay. So kung hindi readable, you can message me, you can PM me, and kung anong number i-indicate so that I'm going to check. Tapos sasabihin ko na lang kung ano yung exponent na gagamitin natin para uniform tayong lahat. Hindi tayo magkakaiba-iba ng answers. Okay, so review nyo yung Love and Rainville, yung 1 to 42, tingnan nyo kung ano yung hindi clear doon, then i-message nyo ko para sasabihin ko kung anong exponent yung gagamitin natin. Okay? Any other questions?
Sige po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Okay, what did you learn today? May naintindihan kayo or wala? Sinong hindi nakaunawa ngayon ng ating lesson? Nakatulong ba ako somehow sa explanation or not? In the basic... Ha?
Nakatulong po.
Nakatulong po, sir.
Naintindihan ba? Baka mamaya, yes kayo ng yes. Pag binasa ko yung mga homeworks ninyo, hindi naman nakuha. Okay, why is there only 21 who participated? Where are the others? Yung iba ba, how many, di ba 38 kayo? Or 30 what? 38? Okay, how many have strong connectivity and how many do not have access to Google Classroom? Meron bang hindi nakaka-enter ng classroom because of poor connectivity or because of the absence of the internet or what? Lahat ba nakaka-connect or lahat ba may gadget? I know some of you are using cellular phones, right? But what about the others? Those who were unable to participate, please inform them, okay, that we have exercises to solve for and next week yung submission, okay? So please, whoever the president of the block, who is the president of the block? Block B president?
Yes po, sir.
Nag-elect na ba kayo ng... Okay, Mark, okay, please inform those who were unable to attend today's class.
Yes po.
Okay. So inform them so that they will know, no? And they have something to do. And then all of you, do you have your COR already? Or meron pang wala?
Yes po.
Lahat na meron, yung 38. Now be
Opo,
sure
sir,
to
lahat
have.
na po.
Okay, okay, that's good. Otherwise, you are not officially enrolled. Okay? Okay, any other questions? Questions before we leave the classroom? I think some of you are now very eager to take the dinner, maybe. So let's meet again every Thursday lang tayo, di ba? Once a week. So every Thursday, and before Thursday, I'm going to upload new materials. I think the next lesson will be trigonometric. So read or backtrack to the differential calculus. Okay. Review the derivatives of trigonometric functions. Okay. What is the derivative of sine? Alwin.
Cosine
What
po,
is the
sir.
what is the derivative of sine x?
Cosine x, sir.
Yes, cosine x. Arnel, what is the derivative of cosine x? Okay, recall, John Ray, ano yung derivative ng cosine x?
Sir,
Negative sin x po.
pwede po pumagan sa
Okay, the derivative of cosine is negative sign. Ha?
Po kasi sir yung internet.
You do not have, you have poor connectivity maybe. No? Okay, so maraming nalilito dyan sa sines. No? The derivative of sine is positive cosine. Okay? And that is why when we integrate cosine, the integral of cosine x dx should be sine x plus c. Okay? Now, you said that the derivative of cosine is negative sine x. Diba? So, given cosine x, derivative of cosine x is negative sine x plus c. Diba? So, therefore, if we integrate sine x, the integral of sine x dx, ang answer should be negative cosine x plus c. Okay? Kasi in-integrate natin is sine. Di ba? Nung kinuha natin yung derivative ni cos, negative sine. In-integrate natin is only sine x. Nawawala yung negative. So yung negative mapupunta dun kay cosine. So the integral of sine x dx is negative cosine x plus c. So it's very confusing, no? At the start. Very confusing yan. So be very careful. So for now, aside from the 52 problems, go back to the differentiation of trigonometric functions. Okay? So try to recall. Familiarize lang. Recall, no? Para pagdating natin sa integration, sa discussion, hindi na kayo malilito. Okay? Any more questions?
Sir, sa
Yes?
pag-send po ba ng mga scanned photos po ng sagot, naka-Word po ba or PDF file?
PDF na lang siguro. Or kahit alin, kung ano yung mas clear. Okay?
Sige po, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Whatever you have scanned, di ba yung na-scan nyo, na-forward nyo sa akin, yun yung original. Di ba? Lahat ng original, please try to compile. Yun na yung magiging portfolio nyo. Okay? Pagka-upload, i-compile sa folder. Okay? Because that will be submitted before the midterm. Lahat ng topics na na-discuss natin. And then, sa finals, ganun din. After the midterm, start na naman tayo ng compilation. Yung lahat ng na-upload nyo, compile. Then, before the finals, submit. Now, the portfolio will contain all the original assignments, quizzes, and exams. And you're going to submit them here. If you can come, much better. Or if not, try to send your portfolio through one of your relatives, maybe yung father, mother, no? Ibigay na lang dito sa engineering. Okay? Or kung lalabas kayo, pwede rin, but please observe the minimum health standard protocols. Okay? And then, wala kayong ibang pupuntahan, engineering, then immediately go back home. Okay? Now, for those who live in far places, like in the island provinces, or in Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, outside the Albay province, you can send through courier, no? Through LBC, JRS, okay? Courier na lang, address na lang dito sa engineering, attention sa akin. Okay? So, twice lang kayong gagawa, no? Before the midterm and before the finals. Yun yung portfolio nyo, nag-gradean ko. And kung ano yung na-upload nyo, do not change anymore. Huwag nyo nang baguhin because i-compare ko kasi yan. Okay? Walang magbabago ng sagot doon sa original na in-upload. Okay? Doon sa original copy ninyo. Please do not erase. No? Once you erase, that is another story. Okay? Any more questions? Any more questions?
Sir, excuse me po, sir.
Yes?
Sir, yung pag-solve po namin, sir, unahin po ba namin yung nasa book na 42 questions po or yung nasa module po na 1 to 10? Yung numbering po sana, sir.
Unahin nyo yung 1 to 10. Okay?
Apo, noted, sir. Thank
So
you.
gawin nyo na lang part 1, yung part to 10. Tapos part 2, yung 1 to 42. Okay? Any
Thank you.
more questions? Okay, please inform those who were not here. Okay? Kasi kawawa naman sila. Okay? So, inform them or kung wala sila, please share. No? Pwede nyong i-senda ng copy kung wala silang computer. So you can send through the messenger. Sendan nyo ng picture ng mga problems. Ha? Or if not, i-refer nyo kung baka meron naman silang lab and rainville. No? Okay. So any other questions before we leave the classroom?